Hi everyone, wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom Vorach. This week we read a double header, Parashat Chukat and Parashat Balak. In Parashat Balak we read about an anti-Semite king. His name is Balak. He's paranoid, he's afraid of the Jewish people. So he hires a prophet by the name of Bilam, who was also an anti-Semite, to come and curse the Jewish people. And Bilam was happy to do so. And he gets on his donkey and he travels all the way to where Balak was. And he looks at the Jewish camp to try to curse them. But instead, out of his mouth only comes blessings. And I think there's a very powerful lesson over here, and that is that Bilam, an anti-Semite, who initially hated, wanted to curse the Jewish people. But after seeing them, after seeing the truth of who they are and what they represent and what they stand for and their values, Bilam was able to do one thing and one thing only, and that is bless us, to bless the Jewish people, to only give brachot. I think it's a very important message for us, especially as the summer comes along, and we maybe go to different towns, to different homes, we travel the world, and we are in situations that we are able to make an impression on the goyim. Many goyim who don't really see a Jew live. They only know of Jews what they see on the news, and a lot of times it's fake, unfortunately. A lot of times they get the wrong impression. We have an awesome opportunity of a Kiddush Hashem, of making God's name known to the world, of people seeing what a real Jew is, what a real Jew represents, that they should walk away like Bilam, blessing the Jewish people. There's an amazing story of Kiddush Hashem that I just actually read this morning. Rebbetzin Sheila Feinstein, she passed away a few years ago, and at her Shiv'ah, the following story was said. There was a rabbi who was going to work one day, he was going to teach, and on his way, he was a little bit late, he was rushing, he flew right by a red light, boom, he gets into a big accident. He gets out of the car, he makes sure that the other driver's okay, and she's about to, call the police to go through the insurance, and this rabbi says, if you don't mind, is it possible to please not go through the insurance? My policy is going to go up. Let's just settle it between us. He didn't believe it, but she actually was okay with it. She said, okay, no problem, fine. She takes his contact information, and she calls him up a few days later. She says, okay, there's a car store right near me. They're going to charge this amount. The rabbi says, well, if you don't mind, there's actually a car shop near me that I know, and they for sure could do it for much cheaper. Do you mind going to them? Obviously, their work has to be just as good, but I could guarantee you they do great work, they do a great job, they'll make your car look new. Please, if you don't mind, if it's not no difference to you, to please use the car that's near the car shop near me. To his surprise, again, she said no problem. Couldn't believe it. This lady's so nice. She didn't even know him. She wasn't Jewish. She owed him nothing. Well, finally, the car mechanic calls him up. He says, listen, car's going to be ready Friday, but I'm going to need all the money up front. Rabbi didn't know what to do. He doesn't have that type of cash flow. He can't pay it all up front. He was hoping to be able to pay it in installments, but the mechanic said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I need all the money up front. The moment she picks up the car, she's going to have to pay me in full. The rabbi picks up the phone for the third time. He calls up the lady. He says, I don't know how to tell this to you. Good news and bad news. The good news is your car's going to be ready on Friday. Bad news is I don't really have the money to pay him up front. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but is there any way that maybe you could put the money down, pay for it all? I promise you, I will pay you every month, 12th. At the end of the year, you'll have the full. You'll have your money in full. And to his shock, this lady said, "No problem." He couldn't believe his luck. Who is this lady? Well, of course, she picks up the car, she pays, and like this rabbi promised, he kept true to his word. Every month, he paid her a 12th. At the end of the year, the last check, he calls her up. He says, I have the last check, but if you don't mind, I want to give it to you in person. He stops by her house. He knocks on the door. She opens up, and as he hands her the check, he says, I just have one question. Why? Why have you been so kind? Why didn't you go through the insurance? Why were you okay using my car shop? Why were you okay putting all the money up front? And this lady responded, I'm also a teacher. I know what it's like. I know what teachers get paid. And actually, the principal of my school that I'm a teacher in the public school that I'm a teacher in, is a Rebbetzin Sheila Feinstein. And I said to myself, if you're of the same religion, if you're of the same tribe as Rebbetzin Feinstein, then I have nothing to worry about. Unbelievable. This is the impression that this Rebbetzin made on this one person, on this one teacher. And we all have that ability. We encounter numerous goyim throughout the day, throughout our lives, especially this time of the year. And we make sure to be able to leave a Kiddush Hashem, so that no matter what Bil'ams we come across in life, after they are done meeting us, they will walk away and say that this person is only worthy of blessings. Shabbat Shalom.